am told I can get about 36 hours out of every single day. Can you? Okay. The reality is, as a mom to four kids, a business owner, one of my kids has a severe mental health issue and has suffered a traumatic brain injury from a fall from a horse. And my version of time management is very different from most people's. I will tell you that a lot of people jokingly will say, "Do you actually get extra hours in your day?" And the answer is no, I actually don't get extra hours in my day. And I actually have to sleep a certain number of hours per night. Unlike a lot of people that are super high performing, um, my body doesn't cooperate. And so what ends up happening is that I actually need most nights 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night, or I'm going to be crashed and burned the entire weekend. And I may be crashed and burned the entire weekend anyway. So, how do I do this whole growing a Facebook group to 76,000 members? How do I do these things where I got my MBA from Duke while working full time with four small children while leading three Girl Scout troops? How do I do all of this stuff? And the answer to that is that I manage my time very, very carefully. And I am very intentional with how I spend my time every single day. Now, that doesn't mean that I work 24/7. And in fact, I don't. I block time every single day for doing particular tasks. I get things done. I get in, I get out. I have time blocked every day for dinner with my family because cooking dinner and spending time with my family is an important thing to me. Or my husband cooks dinner and I take the dogs to the dog park. So, doing dinner as a family is a non negotiable. Getting exercise almost every single day for me is a non negotiable, except this week I'm off my feet for the most part because I twisted an ankle. But most of the time, I have to allocate time for eating. I have to allocate time for taking my vitamins. I have to allocate time for a lot of things because, see, there's this little thing. I had weight loss surgery 4.5 years ago. And part of that is exercise, diet, nutrition, making sure I'm getting my protein in, making sure I'm doing all my things. So I no longer have the option of not doing these things. It is non negotiable. And yes, I've lost 160 pounds. So, how do I get things done? I track my time. I'm very aware of what I'm doing with my time and how I'm doing it. When I talk to small business owners and business owners in general that are struggling with getting enough sleep, getting enough done, doing all the things that are running in circles, one of the things that I ask them to do, which they hate doing inevitably, is tracking their time. Here's the thing. If you don't know what you're putting in your mouth and you don't know how you're sleeping and you don't know how you're tracking your time, you probably don't know much about what's going on in your life. Just as somebody who needs to lose weight has to track their food, and somebody who's having severe weight loss issues needs to track what they're eating, most people who are business owners struggle mightily with time management. Most of us would not be business owners if we didn't have some element of ADHD in our brain, some element of disorganization, and didn't need to overcome those things. And in fact, I struggle with some of those myself. So, what are the solutions? First of all, know thyself. Be really real. Track your time, track your hours. co-work, spend the time doing it. Be aware of how many hours a day you're actually working. Here's the thing. If you're not doing the time and you're not doing the crime, you're probably not going to get the results, at least early on in your business. For most people, unless you have substantial amounts of money to throw at your business, a 4-hour work week, at least to start with, is not realistic. You have to make the investment in the time and the effort and the energy to do it. And if you're not putting the time in, and if you're dithering and you're doing other things and you're being, productive, like doing things like cleaning the bathrooms, like I used to do when I was supposedly studying for my accounting finals. Well, that wasn't getting me anything and any progress towards studying for my accounting finals, and I knew it at the time. So understand that we have lots of different ways to procrastinate: cleaning, doing chores, running errands, feeding kids, you name it. And we have only one real job to do. And here's the other thing. A lot of times in business, we focus on all of the wrong things. We're focusing on the 80% of activities that do not produce income or are not the most productive. There will always, always, always in business be more to do than there is time to do it in. There will always be more to do in life than there is time to do it in. And when people tell me that they don't have time for something, it tells me that that is simply not a high enough priority on their list to make the cut. Let me repeat that. If you tell me that you don't have time to do something in your life or in your business, it tells me that that thing simply does not have a high enough priority level to make the cut. And here's how I know that. When I was at Duke getting my MBA, my mother passed away the week before I started my program. And the entire time that I was in the program at Duke, I was managing to probate her will. I was working full time. I had 4 young kids, and I exercised a couple of times a week. I will tell you that I got more stuff done because I had pressure to get stuff done, and I had my time very carefully and very rigidly scheduled out. Here's when I'm at work. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how I'm doing it. Here's when I'm with kids. Here's when I'm with family. Here's when I'm managing my dad's care because my dad's health was rapidly declining. And my dad actually passed away a few weeks after I finished my program at Duke. So when somebody says, I don't have time for that, what I instantly think is, and I know that that thing is simply not a high enough priority to make sure that it gets done. Because see, here's the thing. The things that are the most important to you are likely the things that you're actually going to do in life and in business. So if church is important to you, you're going to have your butt in church every Sunday at whatever time service starts. And if business is important to you, you are going to have your butt in the chair at that time, and you're going to ensure that it gets done. Now, throw in a little bit of ADHD, which most entrepreneurs have, and a lot of competing demands. And it gets really, really hard to stay focused on the things you need to do. And that's where I can come in. Accountability, making sure that you actually are doing the things you most need to be doing to actually get results. Because see, there's only 24 hours a day. And most of us have to sleep a few of those hours a day. For me, it's 8 to 9 hours a day. Co-working can be another alternative. We are partnering with the Zone as part of Women's Entrepreneur Network to offer co-working because it offers additional accountability at large portions of the day. You need to know how you're spending your time in order to get more out of the time. You need to know what you're doing with those 24 hours that you do have in a day so that you can make them more productive. How much time are you spending watching TV? Is that really something that you really like to do? How much time is it taking you to do X, Y, or Z activity? Are you spending too much time in a perfectionist dither trying to get something done rather than doing enough to be able to deliver it? So you can multiply your time and be super brilliant with your time. And you can get 36 hours in a day if you really want to, every single day. And in fact, my husband was recently gone, and I was in the process of managing my oldest daughter's discharge from her 42nd hospitalization. And I'm hoping we don't get 43 anytime soon. And this is 42 hospitalizations in 8 years. So my husband was out of town, leaving me in charge of the household and the dogs. And we have two dogs. We have a very lovely 12-year-old golden retriever, and we have a 2-year-old hot mess coonhound. Those of you that have met Amy know that Amy is a total sweet dog, and she is high maintenance, high energy, high all the things. And she takes a lot of time. So my husband is out of town. I'm managing my daughter being discharged from the hospital. And I have these dogs. So these dogs mean that I then added an extra 3 to 4 hours a day of dog management time, in addition to feeding myself, keeping my business running, and doing all the things. And guess what? It all happened. And in fact, while my husband was gone, I actually ripped the house apart and KonMari'd it because he wasn't here and I had an awesome opportunity. And it was a crime of opportunity, let me tell you. So I made it a priority to do that. And what I found during that time is that rather than some things taking me a little bit longer, I was in constant motion. I was either doing the dog, or I was doing this, or I was doing laundry, or I was doing that, or I was doing the other. And you know what? My productivity shot through the roof for those 4 weeks. And as soon as my husband came home, you can guess, well, my productivity slowed back down and I started focusing more strictly on work and on myself. And here we are. So, hyper focus and staying on top of things is an important skill as a business owner, and knowing when and how to leverage hyper focus or not and manage your time and giving yourself time to do the things that you need to do for you so you can stay healthy, so that you can stay, as a sane business owner. Um, we will learn more about how you function and how you can get the best productivity. So I hope that you will schedule a call with me and let's talk. I'm a real woman, I'm a real person. I drop the F bomb way too often. And you know what? I've lived it. I've gone through parents, I've gone through kids. I am neither better nor worse than anybody else. We should talk and help you get more productive in your business, because here's the thing, a few strategies and a little bit of support go a long ways to helping you add more productivity to your bottom line. Every entrepreneur I know that has started tracking their hours and paid attention and made course corrections and made conscious choices about their productivity has dramatically improved their sales, their results, their bottom line, and their overall happiness. And who doesn't want more of that? Let's chat soon. Book a call with me, and I can't wait to see you on the other side.